Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content on all things related to hockey in the NHL overall. And yes, the Vancouver Canucks in dramatic fashion won against the Minnesota Wild, advancing past that qualifying round, sending the Minnesota Wild and their fans packed home, going back, leaving Toronto now. But Canucks looked fantastic in this series. Such great play all around, and I have plenty to discuss. And when it comes to Jacob Markstrom, oh boy, does he look like the real deal in net for them. But that's what I'll be discussing with you today. A summary on the series that ended last night. My thoughts on the series and what is next. What is in store for both teams going forward from the Western Conference in both the Vancouver Canucks, of course, and the Minnesota Wild. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you end up enjoying this kind of hockey content. I'm so close to 300 subscribers, so any level would really be appreciated. Trust me, it's only the beginning of a lot of amazing and great things to happen on this channel. But all those things being said, let's get right into this video. What a game. Game 4, that is. That game between the Vancouver Canucks and the Wild was honestly remarkable. One of the many amazing games that took place in the 6 possible elimination games last night for the NHL, and they did not disappoint by any means. When you had this Vancouver Canucks and Wild game especially, they were neck and neck, and the Vancouver Canucks were going into the third period trailing 4-3, but then around the 15-minute mark, I believe, or at least, yeah, around there, Bo Horvat scored the goal. Oh, I shouldn't say 15-minute mark. 5 minutes into the period, so it'd be 15 if you're viewing it from the other way. But Bo Horvat, the captain, scored his second goal of this qualifying round and led them into overtime, in which the Vancouver Canucks, 11 seconds in, yes, you all guessed it, Chris Tanev from the point took a shot and went in, and that is the OT winner. OT ended before it even started, really. But the Vancouver Canucks move on. I got my Naslin jersey right back there, looking awesome. But look, the Canucks, congrats to them. I was rooting for them in this series, honestly, and my predictions for the qualifying rounds, I had the Canucks winning in 5, so the fact that they won in 4 was impressive. It was 5 or 4, I'm honestly forgetting which one, but regardless, I had the Canucks winning. They looked great, and overall, this series was a lot of fun to watch. You know, you had the first game, of course, with the Minnesota Wild shutting out the Vancouver Canucks 3-0, but then a reverse effect when it came to game 3, where the Canucks did the same thing to the Wild, shutting them out 3-0. Jacob Markstrom has really been a big factor in this series. A better goaltender between the two of him and Alex Stalock. Markstrom finished the series with a goals allowed average of 2.27 and a save percentage of 926. Awesome numbers, and he's really making his case for why the Vancouver Canucks need to re-sign him after this playoff run is done, because he looks like he's finally the #1 for them. Had a possible Vezina caliber type season, depending on who you're talking to. And while Thatcher Demko definitely seems like the future, Jacob Markstrom is really looking great. And regardless if he stays with Vancouver or signs with someone else in free agency, he's definitely due for a big payday, and rightfully so. But let's get into this series. The Vancouver Canucks, of course, outscored the Minnesota Wild 12 goals to 10 among these 4 games. So it was pretty neck and neck, pretty even series for the most part, but this game 4 did not disappoint by any means. You had Quinn Hughes, the rookie defenseman, who led the rookies in points this year and was the first rookie defenseman since, of course, Brian Leetch back in the 88-89 season for my New York Rangers to, of course, lead the way in the Calder running when it comes to most points in a season by a defenseman. Hughes had 53 points in regular season and kept it going in this qualifying round at 6 points, had a goal last night and at least 1 assist, I believe. Was really looking strong. Whether you have him on 5-on-5 or the power play as that quarterback, he's doing wonders for this Vancouver Canucks team and such a help on the blue line. It really looks like he's only going to get better and better by the day. So I'm stoked to see what the playoffs is in store for him. I would not be bothered at all if we saw a playoff series eventually between the Canucks and the Colorado Avalanche. Seeing McCarr against Hughes, where that duo has constantly been going up against each other with conversations as to who's better. I would love to see that happen. I think that would be remarkable. So I'm very interested to see how Cale Makar is going to do in that first round, because Quinn Hughes so far has the upper hand, given how well he did in that series. So we'll see what happens. But Vancouver looking great. Bo Horvat, the captain, had 4 points in the series as well. Elias Pettersson really doing fantastic again with 4 points. And then you have guys like Chris Tanev with 4 points, who isn't known for his scoring, but he put up the points. He had the game winner last night, and you could tell how hyped he was, especially when he got in that locker room. They were all celebrating like crazy, as they should. And JT Miller, who I'm a huge fan of as a Rangers fan, I was upset to see him go years ago, but he's finally coming into his own and is looking fantastic. Had a 70-plus point season in the regular season with the Canucks and had 3 points in this series too, including 1 goal and 2 assists. Really looking strong. I saw him hyping up the guys in the locker room, doing the name card of who's going to be starting, going into overtime, and it was just awesome. I really love it all. JT Miller is such a fantastic two-way player, has really taken his career to that next step with his overall play. I'm so happy to see him thriving in this Vancouver Canucks lineup in that top 6. But then when you get to the Minnesota Wild, Eric Staal had 5 points, looking strong. He can still put up the points, even though he is kind of more in the latter years of his career at this point, given his age. Kevin Fiala looks strong, really looks like the most lethal weapon in that Minnesota Wild offense by far. He had 4 points. And Jared Spurgeon, one of the most underrated defensemen in the league, so good in his own zone, had 4 points as well. And Ryan Suter didn't play in this game 4, so I definitely think that went into some factors as to maybe the Wild would have had a better chance with him in the lineup. I'm not sure, but it would definitely have been an upgrade over who they had in replace for him. But regardless, the Wild lose this series, so what is next for them? Now they have a chance at that first overall pick, Alexis Lafreniere. What does the Wild need more than anything? They need a franchise talent they can rally their team around, and they're getting Kirill Kaprizov, which is huge. He was the best player out of the U.S. going into this year, of course. He's around, I believe, 25, has been dominating the KHL for years now. He's finally coming to North America and should be with the Wild next season. Now add Lafreniere along with him, and that would be a very deadly team that would quickly get out of this rebuild/retool, especially given how good of a defense they already have. They just need more help on that scoring, honestly. Along with that goaltending, could definitely use some work, but I think they will get there. But they have a chance at Lafreniere. That never hurts, right? But now the Vancouver Canucks are going to be going up against, I believe, that 4th seed in the Western Conference from the round robin, and it definitely looks like it's going to be the Dallas Stars. So that should be a very strong series between the two. More polar opposites. Vancouver's known for their offense, while the Dallas Stars are definitely known for their defense and that goaltending. Ben Bishop, Antoine Khudobin, great goaltending tandem. And that defense led likes with Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, John Klingberg. They can get it done for sure, but that offense is suspect, and they did not look good in the round robin. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I even had, when it comes to some bold predictions, I had the Dallas Stars losing in that first round, which might be a little controversial, but hey, they're facing against the Canucks. That could very well be a possibility. Canucks are looking good right now. They definitely are not looking fantastic, but I think they can get it done. I think they could surprise some people. I'm really happy for them. I like this Canucks team a lot. I think they have a lot more that they're going to prove, and this is huge for their young talent on that team with the guys of the Petterssons, the Bessers, and of course other guys like the Hugheses. With getting this type of playoff experience, it's going to be so beneficial to them going forward. But with that being said, that's going to conclude this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Canucks fans, how hyped are you to be back in the playoffs? You haven't won the playoff series in 2011, so hopefully that changes. I know this is like a playoff series, but not. But really, if you win this first round against the Stars, that would be huge for you guys. So let me know in the comments below how you're feeling going into this playoffs. And Minnesota Wild fans, I know you're a little bummed, but realistically, how far did you guys honestly think you were going to get this year? This was a team that I just didn't see having enough pieces truly. You're still in this kind of rebuild/retool. You're getting Kaprizov next season, and you could very well have Lafreniere on in that top 6 next year. So things could be a lot worse for you guys. Trust me, you're still in good hands at the end of the day. I think you guys are starting to come out of whatever it is you're trying to figure out. But all those things being said, thank you all so much, guys. Check out my previous videos, especially regarding qualifying round eliminations. If you haven't, I'll have them right down here below for you. And thank you all again, guys. Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of hockey content. Thank you all so much for the love and feedback thus far. It really means a lot to me, and I'll be back in a day or two.